question time, except the first one.
Why is the channel called Slackwards Bound?
That's a good question. I called it Slackwards Bound because it's always been my goal to get a plot of woodland and call it Slackwoods, because that's the place I'm going to go and slack off a bit. But yeah, I am bound for Slackwoods.
Interesting. Why no sink though?
I don't have a sink because I don't like the idea of the plumbing smelling or having to empty the bottle or anything else. I just use my little Ridge Monkey water pot, the green one. This thing, I've got a 25 litre water bottle in the front, which tops this up. This fills up kettles, washing water, everything else.
Why don't you have a toilet?
Why don't I have a toilet? I kind of have got a toilet, but it's one of those buckets with a toilet seat. I use biodegradable bags and a handful of sawdust and deal with it that way, and then find a doggy poo bin and get rid of it. I think with a cassette toilet, you're a slave to campsites, because that's the only place you can empty them is you know, proper job there and then. I didn't want to feel a slave to campsites, so yeah, that's why I make do and poo in a bag.
I see. Any advice for others interested in this life?
The advice I would give to someone thinking about doing this would be to stop following channels that use thumbnails like this. It's just so negative. It's terrible stuff. Don't listen to them. Enjoy the positivity and the sunshine and the traffic. You've got to expect some trials. Sometimes it's difficult to get water. Sometimes you don't have a shower for 3 or 4 days. Sometimes your clothes are a bit smelly and it's hard to get them washed. But the pluses far outweigh any of that negative bullshit that you see all over YouTube.
What van would you like to get next?
The next van is probably going to be a Sprinter or a Crafter, typically, because it's a little bit longer. The long-term goal is a Mercedes-Benz Vario, but you don't see them for sale very often. So yeah, or a horse box. I'd quite like a big horse box with a drop ramp on the back.
Why are you filming yourself answering questions no one asked? Are you mental?
I found a nice little lay-by, which I'm going to stop here for a little bit. But while I'm sitting here and changing out of my work gear, just want to say that my ex-partner, she came home from work once and she said, there's a guy at work with ADHD, and I've been looking into his symptoms and how we can help him with his work and things to ease his workflow and stuff. So she did a bit of research on it, and she came home that night and she said that I think you should look into this, which I did, and it's like a penny dropped. So I went to something called Right to Choose, something online, which is when you can go over your doctor's head because the waiting list is ridiculous, and they assess you themselves. And I had to wait 7 or 8 months for the assessment. That happened in January, and I had my report back last week, which says that yeah, I'm inattentive ADHD, and it's been a real eye-opener. So the reason I mention it is because I'm probably going to be trying out the medicine at some point in the future, and I can update you all on that, because I'm not sure what the rules are with driving on them. So it might be a case that that won't happen. But I'd just like to say, if anyone's got any doubts, just do it. Just make the move. Well, I'd love to stay here, it's gorgeous, but I've got things to do. So on to the next place, and we'll see what happens then. I had a very productive couple of days laying a click system floor with my friend who's a carpenter, and it went very well up until the point where I did my back in. So take a look at that. It looks like we've done more than we have. He's doing the dry laying and I'm following along, putting the screws in every 15 centimetres. going to walk down to the shop, get myself a chocolate bar, and while I'm down there, there's somewhere to get rid of my rubbish. There's places all over the place to get rid of your rubbish, you'd be surprised. There we go, a block of flats. And outside a block of flats, you normally get little wheelie bin skip things. So you hide the rubbish in a bag, go up to the skip, and chuck it in. It will never fail to fascinate me how you can harness the power of the sun throughout the day to use at night. Look at that. That's today's rays in there. Every night we get this. 3 nights in a row I've been here. 3 nights in a row he's done it. Imagine the size of his balls. What a beautiful morning. Thursday is finally upon us and the van is going in for some major work. They haven't had a quote yet, don't know, because they've got to do some exploratory work to find out what the exact problem is. So it could cost a few quid, but I don't pay rent, I don't have bills, so yeah, can't really complain. It's got to get fixed, it's my home. So yeah, going to be homeless today. The van's been in for 2 hours now. I've heard nothing. Apparently they're going to phone me with a quote when they know what the problem is. So in the meantime, let me tell you a story about a pebble mosaic that I once made in Spain. I once made a pebble mosaic. It was in Spain. And I posted the video on YouTube. I was quite pleased with it. It got a lot of views. It did well. And someone commented underneath, and I'll never forget it because it was so eloquently written. You masquerade as an artiste, yet go about it with all the aplomb of a 5-year-old making a pasta collage. Absolute genius. Twigs coming on, look. Stripping this with no fingernails. Goals. 3 hours. 4 hours now. They're still in the same place I parked it this morning. Let's go and see what's going on. Alright, I take it back. It's been done apparently. It's even been for a little drive. It's just got to be retested now for the MOT. So I'm getting my vape batteries out of the front and then going for another walk. 5.5 hours. 6 hours. 7 hours. 7 hours in, we've got a pass and it only cost me 94 quid. I was expecting to pay like over 1,000, but it turns out something had been misdiagnosed and it was a simple fix. So I'm very, very happy and I'm going to the lake.